Before I get started with this video, guys, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to everybody who has supported and subscribed to my channel. I just hit 500 subscribers the other day, and the feeling is indescribable. I am so thankful for the YouTube community, my friends, my family, and it really pushes me to push out more content and make something out of this YouTube channel. So thank you. I'm just gonna be going over 5 of the most asked questions about vegetable gardening. And while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna sit, eat some lunch, go over those questions with you guys and answer those. So I'm here in Michigan, and normally I wait to plant my vegetable garden around Memorial weekend. That's when I know I'm gonna have no frost at night. I don't have to worry about the danger of my plants and not surviving because of the frost. So I would highly recommend you going to the Farmers Alumni website and just checking out your area and making sure you can see that date. If you are getting close to that date and it's still cold in your area, make sure you're paying attention to the weather at night and seeing if there's a possibility of still having frost. If you plant your plants in the ground before that and you are unsure, go ahead and cover them up. If you're gonna have a cold spell one night, cover them up with a nice plastic container, anything that's going to protect them, or cover them with a nice cloth, anything that's going to protect your plants. And this depends on a lot of different factors, where your garden is located, the soil type that you have, the amount of rain that you get on a regular basis. It just comes down to a lot of those. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that obviously your plants are getting enough water per week. So the best advice that I can give is if you go out and it looks dry, stick your finger about an inch under the soil, and if it is dry, water it. You want to make sure, at least for your vegetable garden, you're watering twice a week. In the springtime, we get a lot more rain, so it's not as big of a deal, but once June, July, those really hot months hit, you want to be watering, 2-3 times a week. Pay attention to it. Like I said, go in about an inch deep. If it's dry, water it. I would definitely say yes, fertilizers make a huge difference in the garden. You have more control over the soil type and the production of your vegetables that are coming out of there. I would definitely recommend an organic fertilizer. And truly, if you don't use one, compared to the years that you do use one, you'll see a difference, I promise you. And then as far as how often, I usually fertilize my garden beds once a month, and I go through, put the fertilizer down, and just work it into the soil a little bit. And those are gonna be slow release fertilizers. So that's why you do not use them that often. They release slowly over time and give your plants the nutrients that they need to produce. I get this question a lot, and it honestly comes down to the amount of work that you wanna put in. Sounds like the easiest, but say the easiest, in my opinion, is the fewer vegetable plants, the better. So if you want to have a few pots on your back deck and grow some sugar snap peas or some radishes, just for fun, just having a couple, those are super easy. But yeah, the easiest, I would say in my mind, are lettuce, radishes, sugar snap peas. Beans are very easy to grow, carrots, and cherry tomatoes are really easy to grow as well. But the more plants that you put into your garden, the more work it's going to be. So if you have a list of about 5-6 plants, I'd say that's pretty doable for an easy gardening season. It's when you're getting into the huge garden beds and having all these different plants that you need to prune back and gather fruit from, or all of that. That's going to make your job a lot harder. So those are the plants that I would suggest starting off with if you're a brand new gardener. Just plant a few. Give yourself some time to adjust to that and see how you like it. And yeah, go from there and add some more each year. This is totally preference. If you have a garden bed, a raised bed, you can plant anything in that you would normally plant in the ground. Garden beds are amazing because you don't have to strain your back being on the ground for so long, pruning and getting out the weeds and all that stuff. So those kind of go hand in hand with one another. You do have to pay attention to what you are putting together in a garden bed and in the ground. So for instance, in a container, I would be planting things like strawberries. I have a strawberry container outside right now. I will not be putting that in a garden bed or on the ground. It spreads too fast, it takes over, and it's really hard to get rid of once you put it in. So that's one thing I would say, definitely in a container, and don't mix that in with your ground and raised beds. Another thing is certain herbs like mints. Those are a no-no to put in and mix with your other plants. Those are really hard to get rid of. The root system on it is just terrible. They go deep and it's really bad to try and get rid of those. So yeah, my two biggest ones that I would say is strawberry plants and mint. Just keep it separate. Put those in containers. And then make sure when you are planting in a raised bed, space things out appropriately. You don't want to cram things too close to one another. Same within the ground. You have more control with ground beds because you can make it however big you want each year. If you want to give it some more, take out some grass and you got a bigger garden. With your raised bed, it's already built. You can't really make it bigger. You can make another one if you want, but yeah, with those, make sure you're spacing things out appropriately and giving good airflow to each of your vegetable plants. Okay, guys. Well, it's a really relaxed video. I've ate some of my fruit. I'm gonna finish up my lunch, but I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this answered some of your questions. If I missed anything, just pop a question down in the comment box down below, and I will try and answer those. It's hard to think of everything right off the top of my head sitting here, so I'm sure I missed some things, but if you have any other questions besides the ones that are most asked, go ahead and drop those in the comments as well. All right, I hope you have a good quarantine, and again, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting my channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.